Hello everyone, our team e-commerce are delighted to be here to tell you about the summary of Chapter 10, Online Communities. Let me briefly introduce about my team. There are 5 members, Tuệ Khanh, Hoàng Ngân, Thanh Mai, Quang Kỳ, and me. The presentation of my team will last in 20 minutes and is divided into 3 parts. Social network, and in online communities, online auction, and e-commerce portal. The first part Hoàng Thanh Mai will tell you about more detail.
Hi everyone, my name is Thanh Mai. Today I'm going to talk about social network and online communities. Now I will start with what is an online social network. Social network is a group of people who may or may not meet one another face to face and who exchange work and idea through the mediation of an online social meeting space. According to Hillary, social network involve a group of people. B share a social interaction. C common time among members. And D people who share an area for some period of time. And next, Ngân will talk about the role of social network and online communities.
Hi everyone, my name is Ngân, and today I'm going to talk about the growth of social network and online community. First, I will talk about social network up here. Facebook is a hugely used website that most people know about. In the US, people aged 24 to 35 usually use it. Young adults are more likely to use Twitter than other to stay in touch with their relatives. Facebook is also very popular among teenagers with Instagram and Snapchat not far behind. Second, I will talk about a new kind of social network. A new generation of social network is rapidly growing and becoming more popular than Facebook. For instance, Pinterest. Pinterest is a visual blog where users can post and share their image. They can also repin them to their Pinterest board. Most young people use it for the purpose of sharing image, and there are people who often get fashion inspiration on this app. When it comes to social network, you can talk about Instagram. Instagram is another social network that focuses on video and photo sharing, a mobile app that enables a user to easily share image to social network. Finally, it's about the spread of mobile service. Contributing to the continued growth and commercial success of network is the rapid adoption and intense use of mobile device. Over 90% of Facebook users worldwide are mobile users. Snapchat lets users send photo and video to friends that instant in 10 seconds. Snapchat stories have a long lifespan 24 hours. In particular, the age of using Snap is the most 18 to 24 years old. WhatsApp is a messaging service that lets users send text, photo, and video to their friends. Now I'm gonna move to next part. Part 3, I will talk about turning social network into business. While the early social network had a difficult time raising capital and revenue, today top social networks are now monetizing their huge audience. Social networks do not always succeed as business. For instance, Twitter began as a social messaging service on which users could communicate with followers. In 2016, it had just over 300 million users. Twitter growth has stagnant, and in 2015 it lost $521 million, disappointing investors who expect more advertising dollars and real revenue. Social networks have had an important impact on how businesses operate, communicate, and serve their customers. A 2015 survey of Fortune 500 firms found that 93% use LinkedIn, 78% use Twitter, and 74% use Facebook. The most visible business firm use of social network is as a marketing and branding tool. A much less seen advertising use of network is a effective listening device that has post- postered the function of client and patron common structure in a business. Social networks are where corporate brand and reputation are formed, and firms today take very seriously the topic of online reputation, as evidenced by social network posts, commentary, chat session, and like. In this sense, social network become an extension of corporate customer relationship management system and extend existing market research program. Next, Mai will talk about the type of social network and their business model.
I'm back to talk about some types of social network and their business model. Online communities are divided into 5 categories, which are general, practice, interest, affinity, and sponsor. Let's start with the first type. General communities offer member opportunities to interact with a general audience organized into general topic. The purpose of the general communities is to attract enough members to populate a wide range of topics and discussion group. Its business model is typically supported by selling ads based on pages and videos such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Next, the second type is practice. Practice network offer members focused discussion group, help information and knowledge relating to an area of shared practice. They can be either profit-based or non-profit and support themselves by advertising or user donation. Thirdly, interest-based social network offer members focused discussion group based on a shared interest in some specific subject. Because the audience for interest community is necessarily much smaller and more targeted, these communities have usually relied on advertising and tendency sponsorship deal. Fourthly, affinity communities offer member-focused discussion and interaction with other people who share the same affinities. These social networks are supported by advertising along with revenue from sale of product. And the last one, sponsor communities are online communities created by government, non-profit, or for-profit organization for the purpose of pursuing organizational goals. This goal can be desired, some diverse, some increasing the information available to citizens. And now we will move to the next part, social network technology and feature. Algorithms are something maybe difficult to understand, but you can understand that is an indispensable part of social network. Algorithms are an ancient concept, but are fundamental to how computers are used today to do everything. Algorithms are one of the most important technologies used by social network and set up step-by-step instruction, similar to recipe for producing a desired output from required input. To analyzing Facebook algorithm, we can summarize as the problem Facebook and other social sites need to solve is how to select content, action of their friend and news story for display on user pages that they will find interesting and likely click on. Also, Facebook needs to prevent information that is irrelevant from appearing on user pages. Sometimes the information can be annoying to you. Facebook attempts to find out what content is being consumed by each affinity group and match the content to each group, relation-based content. Facebook creates a database of this relationship-based content and serve it to other members of group, as well as other affinity group that share similar feature. Next, Kai will talk in more detail.
Hi everyone, my name is Tang and I will continue our presentation with the contents about online auctions. First of all, auctions are defined as markets in which price change depending on the competitions among who buy and sell commodities. There are two models of online auctions, the consumer-to-consumer auctions and the business-to-consumer auctions. The consumer auctions is auctions in which the auction house is an intermediary market maker, provide a forum where consumers, also known as buyers and sellers, can discover price and trade. The market leader in this auctions model is eBay. The business-to-consumer auction is less well-known than the C2C auctions. In this auction model, businesses sell goods they own or control, using various pricing models. Some leading sites are Auctions.Sam's Club and Shopwoodville. When participating in auctions, users derive some economic benefits. One of them is liquidity. Thanks to the internet, sellers and buyers can easily find each other. The second benefit is price discovery. Buyers and sellers can quickly and efficiently develop price for items that are hard to access. The third benefit can be derived is price transparency. As public internet auctions allow everyone in the world to see the asking and bidding price for items. Another advantage of auctions is market efficiency. Auctions can reduce prices and hence reduce profits for merchants, leading an increase in consumer welfare. The next positive aspect of online auctions is that it lowers transaction costs, since it reduces the cost of selling and purchasing products. Auctions can also benefit sellers with consumer aggregation, as sellers have the ability to gather a large number of consumers wanting to purchase in one market space. Another plus point for online auctions is the network effect. The larger an auction site is, the more valuable it becomes as a marketplace. Despite the benefits that can be derived from taking part in auctions, there are still some risks and costs for sellers and buyers have to face. One of them is delayed consumption costs. Since the internet auctions can go on for days and shipping will take additional time. Another disadvantage is monitoring costs, as participants in auctions require a lot of time to monitor bidding. Sellers and buyers also need to cover the equipment costs due to the requirement for computer system and payment for internet access. Also, online auctions are one of the sources of internet fraud, result in trust risk. And the last cost buyers have to pay is the fulfillment cost, including packing costs, shipping costs, and insurance, while these costs are included in the retail price at a physical store. The next part of the presentation will be about types of auctions. The most common auction type is the English auction. In this form, one item is up for sale by one seller, and buyers bid against one another anonymously in a specific amount of time. The highest bidder wins the item. Another auction format is the Dutch internet auctions, in which seller lists a minimum price or start bid, and buyers indicate both a bid price and a quantity desired. Winning bidders pay the same price per item, which is the successful lowest bid. The third form of auctions is the name your own price auction. In this format, buyers specify the price they are willing to pay for an item, and multiple sellers bid for their business. The last auction type is the penny auction. Participating in these penny auctions, bidders have to pay a non-refundable fee to purchase bids, and that money is gone even whether the bidder wins the auction or not. Because of such features, this format is not so common. And now Banai will give you some more detail about online auctions.
Okay, I'm come back. So now all of you have a basic insights about auctions. For this reason, I will give you more detailed information about when to use auctions for business. There are many different situations in which auctions are an appropriate channel for business to consider. Now you need to switch your perspective to that of a business. Remember that the objective of business using auction is to maximize their revenues. The factors for business to consider include type of auction, stage of product life cycle, channel management issues, type of auction, initial pricings, bid increment amounts, auction length, number of items, price allocation rule, and information sharing. And then the second part will have you a deeper understanding of auction price. There are many reasons why auction price may be higher than those in a fixed price market for items of identical quality, and why auction price in one auction market may be higher than those in other auction markets. Consumers are not driven solely by value maximization, but instead are influenced by many situational factors, irrelevant and ground information, and misperception when they make market decisions. Now I will show you some outstanding behavior of participating in auctions. Firstly, herd behaviors is the tendency to gravitate toward and bid for auction listing with one or more existing bids. Secondly, winner regret the winner feelings after an auction that he or she paid too much for an items. Thirdly, seller's layman concerns that one will never know how much the ultimate winners might have paid or the true values to the final winners. Lastly, loser lament is the feeling of having been too cheap in bidding and failing to win. And of course, the behavioral reality of participating in auctions can be produce many unintended results. When it comes to the third part, the several existing problems in consumer trust will be illustrated apparently. Auction sites have the same difficulties creating a sense of consumer choice as all other e-commerce sites because the operators of the marketplace don't directly control the quality of goods. This opens the possibility for criminal or unreliable actors to appear as either sellers or buyers. Several studies have found that trust and credibility increase as users gain more experience. If trusted third-party sales are present, and if the site has a wide variety of consumer surveys for checking purchases or fraud, thus giving the users a sense of control. Because of the powerful roles that trust play in online consumer behaviors, eBay and most auction sites make considerable efforts to develop automated trust enhancing mechanisms such as seller and buyer rating, escrow surveys, buyers and seller insurance, to name some few. After that, the last section is about fraud and abuse in auctions. However, auctions are particularly prone to fraud, which produces information asymmetries between buyers and sellers. Some possible abuse and fraud price matching, defensive shield feedback, offensive shield feedback, feedback extortion, to name some few. For example, eBay and many other auction sites have investigation units that receive complaints from consumers and investigate reported abuse. Nevertheless, with millions of visitors per week and hundreds of thousands of auctions to monitor, eBay is highly dependent on the good faith of sellers and consumers to follow the rules. So now we will move to the last part, and Quang Kỳ will give you more detailed insight about e-commerce portal.
Hello everyone, my name is Key and I'm going to talk about e-commerce portal. First of all, we need to know that e-commerce portal is a very important part of the internet that any of us have used and are using through. E-commerce portal is one of the parts that internet users look towards the most nowadays, but looking back at the past, the portal is just a simple tool that indirectly help users to find the website that they have intent. Today, the internet has exploded strongly in the 2000 and by 2021, the number of internet users has exploded strongly in the 2000 has strongly has increased to 466 billion people. Because of that huge number, the e-commerce portal is used strongly with billions of visits per month. Typical for the huge amount of traffic at e-commerce portal such as MSN, AOL, and Instagram. Facebook is now also a portal with a huge number of users, with 2.4 billion users and an average duration of nearly an hour per day. I believe that the younger generation are spending hours every day updating news information about friends and society on it because the attraction is so great. The next thing I want to say is the e-commerce portal has grown with more content and more function to be a permanent destination for users. Today, e-commerce portal have evolved with the aim of keeping users with engaging content such as breaking news, game, music. The purpose of that is to get users to stay on for as long as possible and expose them to as many ads that the portal aims for them. The e-commerce portal is also targeting different audience such as connecting business, school, and church. Nowadays, e-commerce portals have developed extremely complex compared to them in the past. Currently, e-commerce portal focus on four main content: with e-commerce, direct sale or retail website, through communication, email, testing, chat, and content distribution. These four main content will help portal compete directly with each other and target potential user. The last part I want to talk about is reach. Reach I can say simply for the sake of understanding that is the number of defined visits to e-commerce portal in a month. Rig is an extremely portable metric as it can be used to generate data about potential customer and can be direct the ads that the distributor has direct the consumer in the past. That's the one we say.
That is the end of our presentation and thank you so much for watching. If you have any suggestions or advice for our presentation, don't hesitate to leave a comment below. We are always ready to listen and answer your questions.